Hey, so I'm doing a kind of a question and answer video. I have a viewer that sent me in some questions, and so I'm going to use this video to answer them all. Oh, and he said that they were for the video, so I'm not... whatever. Oh, and I was gonna say, if you guys, like this, there's a list of questions, if you guys know the answer to any of these, and if the opinion is different than mine or whatever, you can write it in the comments, we can have a discussion about it. This is the first question that I'm not entirely certain of, because it didn't apply to me. So question number 1. What happens when a school official finds out that you self-injure? I heard that you can get expelled or suspended. I'm not sure. I haven't actually had that experience, so I don't know. I only know what from hearsay, so I can't actually answer that question. Question number 2. Why do YouTubers make triggering videos? Well, I think originally there was they didn't really know what to do to express themselves, and they thought that, I would imagine, that making videos where they would show their scars or their cuts was the way that they knew how to express what self-injury was. And it wasn't until people like Sullen Girl, and there was one for a while, Karina Fugate, and there was someone else I would listen to. But then they would talk about it. And so people started to realize that it was a better way of expressing what was going on to talk about it than to show their scars. So I would imagine that that would play a big part, especially because a few years ago there was pretty much almost only that for self-injury videos. But now we have a lot of talking, but that's progress. Why do some hospital staff treat self-injurers badly? I would say a lack of awareness. They don't know what it's about, so they think that it's for attention, which they consider a bother. Like, you are here because you did this on purpose, and now you want help. Whereas somebody else got in a car crash or something, and they need help, so they're the ones that actually deserve to be here, and you don't. So they're considering us as a bother. Yeah. That would be why. Attention-seeking bother. Have you ever been called out for being a self-injurer? Once. My sister! What? My sister called me out. She says, what? She called me out. I was talking to her on the phone after I'd gotten home from the hospital for the first time, and I told her that I was in the hospital for anxiety. I didn't want to tell her that it was for self-injury. I told her it was for anxiety. And then we hung up the phone. I had to go, and then she calls me back right away, and she says, have you been hurting yourself? And my kind of heart dropped, and I thought, what do I say so that I don't make it a lie, but it's got to be the truth? So I was like, what makes you say that? What makes you think that? Why would you think that? Have I done anything to make it seem that way? Anyways, she called me out on it. I had to admit it at that point. So that's how she found out. Sadly. Well, it was sadly, wasn't it?
What's that?
It was sadly, wasn't it?
What was sadly?
Were you even listening?
Yeah, but what was sadly?
Was it sadly that you had to call me out instead of that I just told you?
I don't know. It's not something that's easy to admit to, Vissa.
Did you guys hear that? I don't know. It's not something easy to admit to. You're damned right.
It wasn't sad that like he didn't come out and tell me. I was happy that I found out.
Just happy that she found out. See? Because to support me.
Darn
Okay.
tootin'.
Darn tootin'. Okay, what's the next question? What is the best method of telling a person you self-injure? Calmly, and not in the heat of a moment. Like if you're going out rashly and it's like, oh, but and saying this is in consequence to what someone else says, and then it's kind of like, it's mean. But say it calmly. Offer facts, I suppose. References. Yeah, I had a whole thought process about this earlier. I may have to come back on it. Yeah. Watch me think for a moment. See? You can see it happening. I'm gonna pass, okay? What is your opinion on people who self-injure for attention? I think it's very unfortunate. I think that it's viewed very much as a bother, as people who don't deserve to have attention because they're seeking it out intentionally. But it's really just a very unfortunate way of getting attention. There are many better ways, but some people choose that, maybe for pity or something, or anyways, you do get attention for it. It can be good or it can be bad. And attention is just a basic need. So, like, my thought here, say, like, there are some people who are totally into sports. So they're way up here, totally into sports. And me, I'm down here, who's the best sport I do is walking. So I'm walking, and this guy's playing football or track and field or whatever. But our needs aren't the same. He's up here and I'm down here. It doesn't mean that it's a better or worse thing. It just is. So attention seekers that really need attention up here and other people can be down there. It just is. It's just a fact. People are different. Okay? Yeah. Next one. Why did you start your YouTube channel? I started originally, I was doing poems. I wanted to share my poems because I had nobody else to share them with. Nobody knew about my self-injury. And I felt that they were good poems and I wanted to share them. So I decided to put them all in black and white in videos, scrolling words. And once everybody knew, I felt more free to put my face to it, and I felt like I had something to say. Like I had learned things from therapy, or just my own experiences that I had been through that I could relate and just tell other people, this is what I've been through, I bet you have been too. Yeah. How did your family, friends find out that you self-injure? I remember telling my mom. She got back from a vacation. No, she was coming here on vacation. And we were out at the hotel after the airport. And I hadn't eaten a thing all day. I was anorexicing myself. And then I remember I had grabbed a peach, so I was eating a peach and I was shaking and I was almost falling to the floor because I was really weak. And I had my mom said she was going to walk the dog. So she walks so I say, oh, I'm going to go out with you. This is my opportunity. I had planned on telling her. I wanted to tell her in person so that she wouldn't find out some other way. And yeah, so she's walking the dog and I say, Mom, I wasn't in the hospital just for I wasn't in the hospital for anxiety. I'm a cutter. I'm a self-injurer. And then I guess she kind of face dropped a bit. She took it rather well. She took it rather well. I don't know how she was feeling inside. That could be different. Who else? I told my baby brother online. Anyways, most of them, and everybody else sort of found out by those who found out. So I didn't have to tell that many people. It gets around. Have you ever been a friend of a self-injurer? Yes. I have some cousins who did it, and I have a very close friend who would self-injure. I'm very close to her, and we understand each other very much. So I consider her a priceless friend. She's amazing. I am a friend with a self-injurer. Should a parent force their child to show them their scars? Should they, or... Okay, they have the right to ask to make them because they're your parents. They have the right to ask. But should they ask is different. Should they... I think that we need to go according to our own recovery, our own pace, and if the kid is willing or ready to do it, then that's better than just forcing them to do it. It's more, it causes a better level of trust that they not be forced into it. That's with scars. If it's fresh cuts, even then, not necessarily, unless they're really bad. Like, if they're bad, like stitches bad, then they have a right to make you show it. They're taking care of you. Your health and your well-being is in their hands, and they have a right to ask. In that case, I would say, if the wounds are that bad, they're in charge of your safety. So that was 10 questions. You guys could ask. I haven't done. I did a question and answer video like 1,000 years ago at least. But if you guys have any questions that haven't already been answered in this video or video like last year, then you can put them in the comments or send me a PM. Yeah. So, whatever. Oh, hey, look. This is my wigs in the background. And my mask. Oops, my finger's not going where it's supposed to go. Whatever. You've seen the dressing room. Bye, guys.